Good morning and welcome back, everyone. We are looking at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, and we had our weekly candle close yesterday at 8 p.m. and we did basically hold the 236. We closed above the 236, and we are now in the new week, and we are testing the bottom of the 236 again. This is the third week that we are fighting this level. The only issue is the volume was increasing the last 3 weeks, and this week is so new that I can't say we have bottomed yet, but this is a possibility that the bottom is in due to this wick off this 100 EMA at around 37, low 3,700 or low 37,000. And now that we are above the 236 on that open, the possibility of this to retrace to the upside is very, very possible as long as the buyers come in. I would say our first level of resistance is around 41,400. And then we have another level of resistance where the 21 and 55 EMA are meeting at 42,500-ish, basically. These will be lower as the week goes by, but that is definitely going to be a level of resistance before we even look for the 382 at the 44,200 level. This week is very, very new, but if we do retrace lower, we have the 100, which is at 37, to be a level of support. And if we lose the 37, we have the measured moves that we have already calculated down all the way to the around $33,000 area. And we have to see if that is where we want to find some support to the upside, or if we even lose this level and go to the $29,000 level to look for some support. Losing this, we've already mentioned the 200, which is at 27,000 even. So these are the levels we're looking for the downside. To the top side, I'm looking for this channel to get retested first, which is around 39,800. Then I'm looking for the middle of my EMA band, which is at 41,500. And then I know that at 42,300 is where the EMAs are touching. So I want to see if we can break above that with the open and close on a weekly. So we have a long path for us to go to the upside, but the upside is possible as long as volume continues to the buy side. If we start seeing the stock market sell off today at open at around 930, then we can see the Bitcoin price testing into the 100 and then seeing if the bottom of the Bollinger Band can provide us support at around $33,000, $34,000. And losing that, we already know these lower areas are possibilities. Worst case scenario, we lose the 200 and consolidate around 19,000, which was the last consolidation on a weekly prior to the breakout back in December of 2020. So that is what I'm looking for on a weekly on Bitcoin. Going to the daily, we can see that we are basically finding some support off the 37,000 level, and we are testing into the 21 EMA on a daily. Also, the 21 EMA is sitting on the bottom of the channel where we actually broke down from, which is around 39,500. If we can basically get above 39,500, we have a chance to test into the 55 and the 100, which is around 42,000. But if we can't even get into the top of the channel, I can just basically assume that buying is slowing down, volume in general is slowing down. So I can expect this to be weak for the retracement to the upside, and then we can test back down to this $37,000 area. And the middle of the channel is at 36,500. So if we can't find support at that 36,500 for another test of the upside to make a new high, then we can look for this to break down from here and consolidate on the lower of the channel, as well as this other level of support at 33,000 before we attempt to break to the middle of the channel again, maybe get rejected, consolidate again, go sideways, and then we look for higher and higher values. So we still have a lot of time to consolidate and drop to this downside before we make the upside move. even if we just shoot up right now, we have lots of layers of resistance where it will probably push off again, consolidate sideways, then try again. So we have time. Ideally, we want to break this level to the upside on a daily. We want to get above the 382, which is 44,172. Getting above 44,000 and a close on a daily, we can look to test the top and this other 0.5 fib, which is around 49,000, 50,000, which is a long way away right now. It's a $10,000 difference from where we're at right now. But I have the path already explained to the downside. I'm explaining to the upside if this consolidation does consolidate to the upside. So keep these levels in mind. They're very important. Going to the 4 hour, I'm going to remove these drawings, and going to the 4 hour, we can see that, let me just clean this up a little bit. We are consolidating above the fib, which is really, really good on a 4 hour time scale, but we need to hold this level. If we can hold 38,400 on a 4 hour time scale and keep continually closing above it, we can look to test the 55 for the third time, and maybe this time we will break it, which is at 39,000. And then that is also the top of the Bollinger Band. So if we get above 39,000 with the 4 hour open and close, we can look for some trending action to push us to the top side to test these highs one more time. And the 200, which is at 40,600, is a likely target for the push up, just to close out all these longs. I mean, all these shorts that were here, close out all these shorts, just basically force them to close out. And then anyone who was panic shorting in this entire area who did not take profit here on this 37 bounce are now officially trapped to the upside. So they will also, the shorts will get squeezed out, as well as the shorts that didn't take profit and did a very good entry. If they did not close out, they will be forced to close out. Their stop losses will hit as we pump quick to the 200 on a 4 hour time scale, which is around 40,500. If this is what is planned for today, with good earnings and other good news that can come out when stock market opens, that is a possibility. But even when it comes over here, it's still a lower high due to the fact that it is just consolidating this level, and it's still a lower high. And then you can just see it come trickle right back down. But it can find support over here at like 39,680. And then we can actually go for this high over here. So it's going to take some time to trickle around here or consolidate on this level, then break out, test, then go up. So keep all this in mind. It is very, very likely to go to the upside, but the danger to the downside is still there due to the weekly still heavily selling on volume. And this week being so fresh, nothing is certain, but the trend right now is definitely to the downside. The path of least resistance is also to the downside, but we can definitely test up higher before continuing the path to the downside. So just keep all that in mind. There's no need for us to just shoot down. That would be too easy. The market maker needs to frustrate and scare enough people so they can provide the liquidity for them to make the move. So keep all that in mind. Let's go to the weekly on Ethereum. So on Ethereum, it's a little bit weaker. Well, it's actually a little bit stronger than Bitcoin due to the fact that the 21 and the 55 have yet to even touch. If you look at the weekly on Bitcoin one more time, we are actually breaking, the 21 EMA is breaking into the 55 EMA. And one more week of high selling pressure, the 21 EMA will be lost, and we will be officially in a larger selling stance where this move, this larger distribution will actually roll us to the lower levels before we can look for a distribution to our accumulation to the upside. Before we do that, we might see this weekly level take us to the downside, and then we can look for this same kind of formation and the opposite to go to the upside. So keep all that in mind. And if this does play out with these squiggly lines, this is not happening until July 2023 or the end of 2023 in December into 2024. So that's a long time for this consolidation to play out, but it does like to drag things on to frustrate people. So here is again Ethereum on a weekly. And as you can see, we are under the 382. So this level of resistance is hard, 2,920. The 55 is under it as well, and the 21 and the mid of the Bollinger Band are basically coming into the 382. So there is an extreme amount of resistance at the 382. The path of least resistance as of now is to the downside, to the 2460 level, which we've been mentioning all last week. So if this price can come and find some consolidation at this level, we can look for the upside movement and see how high we want to go. Okay, but that is only if we can find the support at this level at the 236. If we find support here, we can go up, but we have to fight the 55 EMA and the 382, which is basically at the same point, which is 29.27. And then after that, we have the 21 EMA, about $1,000 higher or $100 higher at $3,076. So these layers of resistance are there, as well as the 0.5, which is the most prominent level of resistance, which is the 3,300 level area. Having a weekly close above this 0.5, we can say, hey, we can test into the golden pocket, we can look into the 786, etc. But until we get to the 0.5, any higher lows under this will be all considered bearish, and people will just be reloading short. So if they were short here, they're starting to see some resistance here. They're taking their profit. And then when we get back to the 0.5 area, they're going to try to reload their short, and that's why we'll consolidate back at the 382 before making the attempt into the golden pocket. And we have to see how the buyers react here and the sellers. If the sellers are exhausted and the buyers are making everyone euphoric, then yes, we can continue higher. Or the sellers will just put on their shorts again to push price down to keep everyone in a range. So keep that in mind. That is Ethereum on a weekly time frame. I'm going to go to the daily. On the daily, we look a lot more bearish. We are under all the EMAs. The EMAs are starting to push off from each other, so the trend is now officially occurring. We are on the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We did break out, close, we opened, and we got back in. So this candle now is the real test. Will we find support on the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which is around 2,733? If we don't find support here and we make a new low from here, we can assume that we're going to test this 0236. That's almost given. What we need to do is hold this level, not make a new low, and then start testing to the upside, the 21 and the 382, which is all both in the same spot, the $2,927 level. So this is doing exactly what we are waiting for from the weekly to consolidate and look for the upside movement. This can take all week and slowly come down, lower our volume all the way down, and then finally have a big green candle just to go up to liquidate all these people who have been squeezed down. See? These people are slowly panicking and getting squeezed out of their position. And then as we come lower and lower, they're getting squeezed out. But there's so many people that are probably buying around here, trying to take it to the upside with the stop loss right underneath. So the market maker might even break right under quickly and take it right back up just to take out those stops and whoever is over leveraged, just to make them panic like, oh, yeah, we're going to hold this low, but we break it to take all this liquidity underneath it. All those stops get stopped out, and then we take it right back up. And all of these people are going to chase the price since they all got stopped out. They're going to be buying it up as it's going up because they don't want to miss the ride. And that's going to cause the price to accelerate to the top side even further. So keep all that in mind. I've seen it happen, and I just want to make you guys aware that that is a possibility. Aside from that, let's go to the 4 hour because this daily candle, we have all day to wait for this. 4 hour will give us a little bit more of an immediate plan. All right, so on the 4 hour, we are just rejecting off the 55. We lost the 21 EMA, so now we are under the 21 EMA and testing it. We have to get a 4 hour above 2,824 and start closing. All the closes under the 21 EMA are gonna make the bearish posture even bigger. We are already doing a distribution rolling hill situation. And now we finally made a high of this high, took out all these people. The goal is to make a new high without making a new low. If this high rolls off and we make a new low under here, then the move down is almost given. And then it will find some kind of level of consolidation and support here. Maybe make a little consolidation. And then we will break out and test higher levels. So I am waiting for the show today. We have 3 hours left on this candle. It's under the 21 EMA. We had high sell volume in the last candle. I don't know why this candle wouldn't continue to the downside. I'm looking for some way of knowing where support is, and I will probably find it either on the bottom of the Bollinger Band or the middle of this channel. And I will try to, if I am trying to take a long here, try to attempt a long here with the stop loss right underneath. And if we do get stopped out here, then I will attempt another position in this consolidation range, the stop loss right beneath. And if this gets stopped out, I will be a little bit more cautious and wait to see where I can see the volume come in for the buy, and then reposition again in this lower area, with this being my stop loss all the way at 1707. But I'm not gonna just wait for this level. I will probably have a 1% or 2% stop loss wherever I enter in this area, depending on these 4 hour candles. So I am going to be very, very patient. I don't even want to touch this until an hour is passed after CME opens. I mean, after the stock market opens at New York, just to see what people are feeling like due to the fact that it's Monday and we had a very crazy Friday close, and a lot of dip buyers might be there today. So money might be flowing into the markets for the opportunities that, the market sold off so heavily for. And if that money does come in, well, all boats rise together. So maybe these assets will also rise. Crypto assets might also rise as other indexes in the US markets increase. So keep that in mind, guys. That is Bitcoin and Ethereum for you guys. I will be following up with some other coins, so do make sure to stay tuned. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button for notifications so you get alerted for these videos when they come out, because a lot of this stuff is extremely time sensitive. And if you have any questions or concerns or other assets you would like me to cover, please just leave it in the section below and I will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos. Happy Monday. Talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.